let's take our seats.
Yeah, baby.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to A Godless Universe. Oh, Thursday. Thursday live edition. So I had a huge, I tell you, Windows can sometimes piss me off. I had a huge blow up at the end here. I had this video that I was compiling. I was getting it all together for ChatGPT and Gemini. And it could have been an Adobe problem too. And I couldn't compile it. All of a sudden Windows screwed up and it shut down Premiere Pro. It got stuck in this loop. And we're trying to save your data. I'm like, oh my God. There's 2 hours of work. But anyway, so I'm going to have try and have that for Monday on the Gemini. On the Gemini v ChatGPT issue. Where are we here? So I am scrambled into the, oh, where are we here? Okay, that's good. That's good. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's what I need. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. All right. Guys, there's a supermoon tonight. It's the last supermoon of the year. I don't know if you've heard the news. It's good rocking tonight. Don't miss. Yes, there it is. Don't miss the last. So a supermoons actually happen much more often than you would think. A lot more often. But it's the last supermoon of 2025. Where are we here? And it's, what is that? About 8:15 Eastern time. It's coming out tonight, which is 5:15. Well, let's go through this. What is space.com? What are they saying? Don't miss the last full moon of 2025 as the cold supermoon takes to the autumn sky on December 4th. And today is December 4th. Would you look at that? Now, so basically a supermoon is when the moon is bigger and it's brighter in the sky. So get ready, stargazers. The final full moon of 2025 rises tonight, December 4th. Here's what to expect from the cold supermoon. Supermoon looms large over the eastern horizon. The sunset on December 4th. The exact moment of December's full moon phase will take place at 8:13 p.m. Oh, sorry, not 8:13 p.m. Eastern time on December 4th, at which time the lunar disk will appear fully illuminated opposite the sun in the Earth's sky, shining brightly above the eastern horizon. The December full moon is sometimes known as the cold moon, in reference to the plummeting temperatures that are common this time of year, and also as the long night moon to reflect the lengthening nights and shorter days as the northern hemisphere sinks deeper into the winter months. Yeah, I got another article here. Why did I pull this article up? This article. Oh, this is on basically defining what a supermoon is and why. I mean, it's pretty cool. You know, we've got a pretty awesome moon. I mean, without the moon, we wouldn't be here. I mean, we'd be toast without the moon. A supermoon occurs when a full moon or new moon coincides with the moon's closest approach to the Earth in its elliptical orbit. A point known as perigee. Perigee or perigee? I'm not sure. I always say perigee. This proximity makes the moon appear slightly larger, up to 14%, and brighter, up to 30%, than the faintest moon of the year, a phenomenon called micromoon. There you go, micromoon. Supermoons are not particularly rare. I mean, they're not. I think they happen like 8 times a year or something like that. Or 3 to 4 times a year. Always consecutively. Yeah, consecutively. That's why it always feels like it's more consecutively over a few months. This is due to a cyclical alignment between the moon's phase cycle around 29.5 days and its elliptical orbit cycle around 27 days. So tonight, December 4th, it is, oh geez, open up your windows because it's 6 minutes away. Oh, the supermoon is 6 minutes away. Son of a gun. Would you look at that? I mean, so that's kind of interesting, I guess, right? So, what else there was something else that was going on that I thought I was going to, that I was going to talk about. Was it was it business? Geez, I don't even remember what my other piece of news was. I did, so I did watch. I did we're gonna also do the Underworld Awakening. That's the fourth movie. It's the fourth movie. It's funny with the Underworld. Each one gets successively worse, right? I don't know about worse. The first two were really good. The third one, which is the Rise of the Lycans, was still pretty good, but you don't have Kate Beckinsale, so you're kind of like, okay, well, you know what? It was still a pretty good movie, but unfortunately, on like the fourth one here, the Underworld Awakening, you kind of see sloppy, lazy writing, sloppy, lazy Hollywood writing. It was 2012, but I'm a screenwriter. I've written many award-winning screenplays, so it's kind of in my wheelhouse. It was just so weak. It was terrible. I mean, it's just terrible. So I gotta talk about that. Stories need a certain type of structure, right? The whole idea behind protagonist, antagonist. Even when she saves her daughter at the end and they hug, you felt nothing. You felt nothing. They had a 12th, I don't know if you guys seen it before. I haven't seen it for a lot of years. So when I watched it again, I'm like, oh, yeah. I remember why I didn't like it. So, that is, and the Kessler effect. Going to do the Kessler effect today. You know what the Kessler effect is, right? That's the, with all the satellites, basically the movie Gravity. When you have all these satellites floating around, all of a sudden you get such a density that one hits one, or all the junk that's up there just basically starts a chain reaction that can't be stopped. Now there's different layers to all the satellites, so it may not affect every layer, but once a low orbit layer is filled with junk, how are you getting spaceships up there? How are you getting it? Everything becomes, it could put us back to buggies and wagons, because basically you're going to lose all GPS. You're going to lose inability to launch anything, because there's going to be so much debris. You hit one little thing and a rocket's going to explode. It's a serious thing. I don't know. It concerns me because I don't know how well they're actually tracking everything. I know they track every piece they can, but the number of pieces isn't going down, it's going up. That's the problem. Like, eventually it hits critical mass and we have a catastrophe. And it's something. I mean, the video that I did is doing quite well. It's a very high percentage viewed, very high, because when people get into it, they realize, is this true? Because is this going to happen? Like, is this? And when they realize that that we're not going to have any more satellites or GPS or anything like that, and it's real. It's a real syndrome. It's a real effect, the Kessler effect. So we are going to go. We're going to go through that. We're going to learn all about it today. And but I guess it's one of these things where when more people know about these things, just the combined voices might get. I mean, Elon Musk alone is launching almost 50,000 Starlink satellites. 50,000. I don't know. I don't want to applaud that. What do you boo that? I mean, you don't really. I don't know. I obviously satellite internet, satellite communication, all that is it certainly helps people out in remote areas, and it's helped Ukraine out and whatnot. So it's a pretty big thing. It's a pretty big thing. But I'm going to start the show off. But I do have. I'm going to take a little bit of vino. Ooh, I do have a. Hey, Jade. Do I think the Earth is shaped like a banana? I believe it is. Banana earther. What the fuck? I like the. You think the Earth quantum chromati 3621. You think the Earth is shaped like a banana? I believe it is. He's a banana earther. You know what? I'll join that cult. My irrational fear is being killed by some space toilet debris, right? Yeah. I got killed by a piece of poop. big piece of poop came and smacked me from space. Yeah, it could happen. It could happen. Anything could happen. I don't know what's going on with this world anymore. I mean, I've been playing a lot with Gemini. A lot. Most of what I do is on the creative side. So, but one thing I did learn today, and this is really interesting. So this whole war between Gemini and ChatGPT. Granted, there's Anthropic, there's also Perplexity, there's also AWS, Amazon. Amazon is kind of doing things quite differently. I haven't used theirs, so I really I don't have enough information to make any comments about Amazon's. But the one thing, and I mentioned it yesterday, the one thing I really like about ChatGPT, I mean, sometimes the queries take longer than they should, but it has a memory. It has a really good memory. So when I place a query about something previous and I don't want to explain the whole thing, I just mention it and I get a pretty good response back and remembers. Gemini is like it's got the memory of a spider. Like it remembers like a few seconds, one query. I've tried some stuff with Gemini. It needs a better memory, but I just found out. So is ChatGPT is actually enhancing its memory. So I don't know if you guys use ChatGPT or if you're not using AI, you're going to have to start. You shouldn't be Googling anything. You should be punching it into, take Gemini. I don't even talk about Copilot. Who the frick talks about Copilot? Which is basically, OpenAI ChatGPT, right? I never use Copilot. I used to, when I used to formulate some lists, it was pretty good to formulate lists, but I found all of these ChatGPT, Gemini, when you start asking to arrange lists, let's say you have 100 items and you want to arrange them in groups of 10 based on this criteria. So you'd have 100 items, or even it's 50 or 40. And then you go through and like one group would have 8, one would have 12. It's like, okay, what? Okay. Gemini or ChatGPT can't count. Copilot was the best. This is pretty basic. That's pretty basic stuff. I haven't done anything like that for 2 or 3 months, so I don't know if I haven't had a need for it. But what ChatGPT is doing is they are expanding the memory so that literally when you have a whole bunch of previous files opened up, it will recollect. It will literally have a full memory of everything that you've queried based on all of your old files and folders and everything. And I got a lot of them. That is huge. So a very robust memory in ChatGPT. Now, apparently 5.2 is coming out with a whole bunch, like they're pooping. Like when when they issued a code red yesterday, Sam Altman. I mean, I think it was, it's one of these things, if you fall too far behind on AI, because the sum of the parts, like does AI on top of AI on top of AI start generating a much more robust, better, faster, more accurate environment than when someone is still trying to work on basic models that are just, some of the logic isn't lining up. I think, and I've only used Grok a little bit. I don't know if you guys, Zach says AI is being developed for the sole purpose of cat videos. All other applications are irrelevant. Zach might have a point. Zach, no, that's shit. Yeah, you know what? That could be true. All the AI services are hosted on AWS. That is true. That's true. Or at least some sort of AWS server bucket. That is true. I mean, Amazon hosts basically almost they are the world's biggest hosting service, right? So if Amazon goes down, so does all these services. Yep, that's very true. It is crazy how much market share AWS has. To me, it was shocking. What was it? They shut down that, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. At the end of the Trump's last administration, they shut down that one. It was like X, wasn't it? They shut one. They just turned it off. It's like, well, that's real free markets of you. I mean, I was like, holy cow. I mean, that was shocking. AWS would just arbitrarily just turn an entire system down because of Amazon controls the internet. Amazon controls a lot. You know what I've been trying to do, the Lube Master? I have been trying to, and I think this is, I was watching, I wake up really early, right? So I'm like a 2 a.m. guy. After the live stream, I have a little bite, and then I go to sleep pretty quickly. I go to the gym at 3, I come back, I sleep for an hour or two. But a lot of times what I do is I will watch these catch-up videos. I just catching up on news, life, people, and the amount of people that are going through some sort of distress right now, whether it's AI inflicted, it's only going to get worse, it's really crazy, right? The amount of layoffs and the amount of layoffs that are going to come, like people have got to educate themselves. There's so many jobs that are on the chopping block, and business is going to chop it, especially with these strides that Gemini is making, these strides that all AI is making. But one thing I was also watching, the number of bankruptcies. Small business bankruptcies have, I think, the highest since 2008 or 2009. I mean, it's small businesses being wiped out. And I blame the government. I blame them because of COVID. So you were a small little boutique, and they didn't want people in a small boutique, 4 or 5 people in a small boutique. But having 1,000 people at Walmart is okay. That's okay, right? That's okay by me. I like turtles too, if you're talking about the candy. But I think it was the biggest wealth transfer. So the point is, so many small businesses are going out of business. If you can shop locally, man, shop locally, right? You just try and. There have been times I have not bought from Amazon because you literally go out and you try and find where else can I buy this? I run down to the mall sometimes, even though it's a pain in the butt. But it's like, okay, I could put a little bit of bucks into the local economy, and I've done that for a lot of purchases. And maybe if the chorus of voices get a little bit louder and people realize that sales for a lot of these small companies, businesses are down 80-90%. But the government wiped out small business with COVID, wiped them out. No, you cannot shop anywhere except Costco, Amazon, Home Depot, Walmart. I think Target was open, right? There's a few. Biggest wealth transfer in the history of the world. Oh, I get flipping angry about that. I really do. The pain that so many people are going through. There's nothing more painful than losing a business, just, unable to pay rent, unable to pay employees. That is high stress. That is high stress. Zach says there's going to be a rough period for humanity before AI takes over. Yes, there will. Yep. Then debt will be wiped out. People will get monthly stipends. I don't disagree with you. Thank you for reminding me, Zach. People will get monthly stipends to live relatively comfortable, while elites still have excesses. I'm a free markets guy, right? I worked in the stock market for years. I was a market maker, economic analyst on NYSE and NASDAQ. 100% free markets guy. But there's never been a time where this kind of concentrated wealth has been in very few places. And I blame the Justice Department because they are not stopping these companies from growing to freaking behemoths. The top 10 biggest companies in the S&P 500 is bigger than the GDP of the United States. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Do these companies get bigger? They just keep buying up all the unicorns. They buy this, they buy that. Is there any time when the Justice Department will say, no, you can't buy that? That, you know what? When you have a few companies that are in charge of all innovation, because Google was able to start back in the late 90s. that put everyone else out of business, right? All the other search engines were wiped out. What were that? Netscape. Remember Netscape? What are some of the other search engines? Ask Jeeves. The internet search engines back then. There's a whole bunch of them. I mean, AOL was big back then too, right? But these massive companies, they're buying all the unicorns. And now you want to talk about centralized power? Now they got the power of flipping super intelligence? The only reason the government has a chance is because they've got tanks and guns and stuff that, real power. But I guess if super intelligence can make your oh, what? Oh, jeez. Your content is gold. Can't believe you don't have any more viewers. Oh, Zach, I just started. Thank you, Zach. I just started. Like with any live thing, it's like you gotta try and build it as much as you can, right? So, and as they say, YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. So I'm down. Like if it takes a few months, I'm down. But I certainly don't know everything. That's obviously. I mean, the sum of the parts of everyone in who's watching is obviously going to be much smarter than I am. But I do think that there is AI needs everyone. People need to be. Sometimes I'm surprised at how little people know about AI. It is a game changer. This whole idea of minimum monthly income, which is so Marxist, which is so leftist, which is so taking the what is best in a human being, which is that those creative juices, that desire to better yourself, is going to be wiped out. I mean, I was actually born in Brno in Czechoslovakia. I was born there in 1968. And, I was born in 67. We fled in 68 when the Soviets invaded during the Prague Spring. And, my parents would always tell me about, you would get meat. You get meat 4 times a year. I mean, you want to go to the Soviet system? You get meat for government-run grocery stores? Talk to anyone who grew up in Eastern Europe. You like meat 4 times a year? Well, that's what you're going to get. If your horse dies, you cut up the horse and you eat horse. You're out in the woods trying to find a rabbit or a duck. I remember the first time I had rabbit, my mom made it here. And I was like, what? It's all dark meat. It's kind of gamey. It's very, very moist rabbit. I think only had it once or twice. And same with duck. Can't do the duck. Have you seen, I was talking to a friend of mine in the Philippines. What is it called? They have those eggs, but the eggs aren't fully formed, but it is a chicken, right? It's called bugga, something like that. And they cook. So I think these things are like a week from popping out of the egg. And so I asked my friend just a few days ago, like, what's in the Philippines that's kind of like, and she told me, I was like, oh my God, I've seen that. So basically they cook with the chicken inside, like it's almost fully formed, but it's still like a few days from popping out. And then they cook that. And instead of like eating the egg, right, they open it up and they eat the chick. And apparently the head's the best part. I'm like, what the fuck did I just hear? Like, that is like whoa. Applaud the people of Philippines, right? Shit. There was, I saw someone who went to Egypt, and a delicacy there is pigeon. They cook pigeon, and then you eat the head first of the pigeon. You eat the head first, and that's, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, every country has their thing, I guess. I don't know what North America has that's too over the top. I mean, a friend of mine, he was from Vietnam, Kenji. He took me, I lived in Los Angeles for 20 years, and he said he was going to buy lunch. And we went to a Vietnamese store, restaurant, and I said, Ken, just do not order anything crazy, okay? Nothing crazy. I don't want to be eating like, like cow intestines or something like that. He goes, oh no, okay, no, trust me. So he had another friend in from, I think, Cambodia, and so we were talking about certain business stuff. This was like 12, 15 years ago, and I get the soup and it's got all these like tentacles in it. And it's got like these suction cups on it, and I'm like, what the fuck? They're talking, and I'm like going to my soup, going like this, like what? And I had to go, what is this? He goes, oh, it's a cow stomach. Cow stomach. Didn't I say nothing weird? He didn't think it was weird. Cow stomach's not weird in North of, dude, cow stomach. Can't do cow stomach. I didn't eat it. I didn't eat it. I couldn't. I'm a sissy. I like sushi. That close? But anyway, ChatGPT. So when Gemini released Gemini 3.0, if you guys use it, I'm telling you, man, I was ChatGPT. I've been using it a lot. Probably 70% of my queries are Gemini. And it is solid. It is fast. It is accurate, but it has a bad memory. It has no memory. I'm sure they're probably trying to work on that. ChatGPT's memory is much better. But apparently, and I have the article. Where did I put the article? Share file. There it is. Let's oh, wait a second. Oh, there we go. Oh, I should bring it to the top. Go like that. So OpenAI, and this is, oh man, this Windows pissed me off sometimes. OpenAI in code red after losing 6% of its users in 1 week. I mean, that is monstrous. 6% due to Gemini 3 report. I get it. I totally get it. Now, there were some things that I thought Gemini or ChatGPT did better today. I was getting some information. I'm doing a video on Alien the Nostromo, the spaceship, in terms of what the Whale and Yutani company, what's the real story behind Nostromo, what kind of FTL drives they use. They used basically 2 different drives, but I was trying to assimilate all this information. And ChatGPT actually gave me better information on the Nostromo. But Gemini didn't do too bad. But overall, I felt that the ChatGPT was a little bit more robust. And I don't know what agreements all of these AI, because all of these AI companies have different agreements. They're monetized. They got to pay like Reddit. They got to pay Wikipedia, space.com and everything that they can go and scrape their websites and get the information. So, I don't think they all have the exact same ones, probably all the major ones. And I was going to mention Grok. I got to do more stuff on Grok. When I did earlier stuff on Grok a few months ago, I wasn't happy with the results. Way too casual, way too, like in some of the stuff that I was trying to bring up, it was like, damn, that's not. I mean, it's just literally. I just see Elon Musk sitting at home, reciting the answers or something. Actually, I am a big Elon Musk fan. OpenAI losing 6% of its viewers, or not viewers, but the users. Users, all the same, isn't it? Recently, Google introduced Gemini 3i, which the company called its most intelligent AI model yet. So far, the AI leaderboards agree, with Gemini 3 surging ahead of rivals like ChatGPT at LM Arena. Now, OpenAI head honcho Sam Altman, now OpenAI head honcho, you got to use commas, Mashable, Sam Altman, has reportedly declared code red at the company in response to an increased pressure from competitors. And you got to think that's pretty serious, right? I was watching an interview that Sam Altman did with Tucker Carlson. The first 10 minutes was Tucker Carlson trying to get Sam Altman to, everything was religious based. Everything was like, so where do you get your morals from? Like, so you didn't take your morals from a higher power? It's like, what the I mean, the last I checked, thou shalt not rape isn't in the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not beat up a child is not in the 10 Commandments. Not to Hey, and you know what I always say, and look, if someone is religious, that's fine, right? That's cool. I don't care if someone's religious. I'm not going to try and take someone's religion away. But if you think morality comes from religion, like, holy cow, thou shalt not kill should not require a deity to convince you of that morality. It should just come naturally. Thou shalt not worship false gods. Hello, you in there? Tucker? You in there? Hello? Tucker, read the 10 Commandments and help me out. Help me out. That's all I'm saying. The announcement came in the form of a memo that was leaked to the Wall Street Journal. The contents of the memo are largely unknown, but the message was direct. OpenAI has some serious competition. No, OpenAI has fallen behind competition, the likes of Gemini 3, Anthropic's Claude, and I don't know. I used to use Anthropic a little bit. I don't know if anyone else has out there what your experience is with it. Maybe I'll try some over the weekend. And the company needs to do something about it. Well, yeah. According to a post on X from a former Googler, Didi Das, OpenAI has lost nearly 6% of its traffic since Gemini 3 launched. The data is sourced from SimilarWeb, which says that ChatGPT went from 203 million average daily visits to 191 million. If the data is accurate, it means OpenAI lost about 12 million people per day over the last week. Now, I would be interested to know if Thanksgiving had something to do with that. If there was just less queries because people were eaten. They were eaten. Oh, then it says right there, some of that might be due to Thanksgiving, but it's a big shift. Maybe I should have just finished the paragraph, right? This is why OpenAI is in code red. There's a little bit of a graph. It's tough to sort of see that graph, but you can see it decline. At the bottom, you can see the traffic decline -6%. The problem started months ago when some slips from the reigning champion AI chatbots. When GPT-5 was released earlier this year, it was immediately criticized for its less friendly tone compared to earlier models. I just noticed that a lot of the queries took so long. The criticism was so intense that OpenAI ultimately decided to bring back GPT-4. That's 4.0, right? Not 40. The data shows that GPT-5. I also use DALL-E, D-A-L-L-E on ChatGPT, which I find a little bit more creative and robust in certain areas. So, but its lack of personality irked hardcore users when used the bot every day. Plus, OpenAI has been walking a tightrope to balance functionality and safety, which it has not done particularly well. It does it quite well because I used 2 words, killed and died, and ChatGPT wouldn't produce the results. Gemini was like, yep, there you go. I'm like, all right, that's a little more like it. Adobe, if you guys, so Photoshop, I'll be Photoshop. You know how you want to extend the picture, so you add, 500, or let's talk percent, like an extra 10% to the right side. So you do a generative fill. There's sometimes it'll say sorry, and I look at the picture. You think that's a little kid in that picture or something? Adobe is so bad at picking out, things that, like it'll stop the generative fill because it thinks it's something bad. And then you always get a response. So I always tell in my mind exactly, but Adobe is frustrating. Adobe is frustrating. So, despite not that high. Hey, come on. Despite the criticisms, it seemed OpenAI was destined to keep its top spot among the AI chatbot competitors. However, Google released Gemini 3 in late November to nearly universal praise, and I was shocked. My first query was like, wait a sec, is this what, something's up? With Google's offerings topping nearly all of the benchmark leaderboards, there was a video I watched, and the guy was explaining what Google did in some parts, and it made sense. Well, basically, they just expanded their functionality, Google's background functionality in Google, in the search engine, and they applied it to the AI. Now, that's not as easy as it sounds because it has to be seamless. It can't slow down the query process. It can't, all that size. Due to the sheer size and reach of Google, the company has a significant advantage in assessing or accessing training data, the lifeblood of AI models. That is very true. I guess it should be if Alphabet. I don't know, Alphabet, Google. It's like the competition is also ramping up on the enterprise side of things. Anthropic boasts more than 300,000 business customers as of September 2025, which includes some Fortune 500 companies. These are all likely reasons why OpenAI is in code red. All I see is like Star Trek, right? Dude, it's Kirk goes, code red. Scotty, go to code red. Dude. It's certainly noticeable. Of course, OpenAI is hardly staying still. The company is working on tons of initiatives, including inking infrastructure deals with the likes of NVIDIA, Oracle, and other companies. In November, Sam Altman wrote a long post on X addressing fears of an AI bubble and concerns that OpenAI is overextending itself. Oh, yeah. This is, you know what? I might read this. This is a good read. I might read this on Monday's show. You know what? I am going to do that. Oh, wait a sec. Oh, yeah, right. You guys, sorry, I forgot. You guys don't see that. This is the post Sam Altman did. It's a big, extensive post. And, I'm going to go through it on Monday. There's a whole bunch of things. And I think Sam's probably going to make up more posts on X, so we'll see what. It's the power of competition, right? It's the power of the capitalist system when you have people competing. The problem is when you only have 4, 5, or 6 main companies competing. That's the problem. You need unicorns. You need new companies coming out there. Everything cannot be purchased, and I think that the Department of Justice has to be much more considerate Steel Waters says it comes down to cost for use. It is, but they're all pretty cheap to use. Like for the value that you get, 1 or 2 human thumbs up. Okay, Singus. Okay, well, I'm not gonna. What people write, I don't know. I get it. You want to have fun. I know, me too. It's fun. The universe is God. AI is not smart. This is Steel Waters. It comes down to the cost of reuse. The universe is God. Is that like panpsychism? Is that, what panpsychism is, right? That everything is conscious? That the universe is conscious? I don't think the universe is God. I'm not a believer. I didn't drink the purple Kool-Aid. Not yet. I haven't drank the purple Kool-Aid. And if you have, and I would love to believe in heaven. Who wouldn't? Like seriously, who wouldn't? To have this belief that after you pass on in this world, you go into some absolutely fun shits and giggles life that is like. But entropy does not exist in heaven, right? That's what the Bible's saying, or whatever. Entropy does not exist because entropy, there must be no laws of physics, because entropy is, one of the laws of the universe. But I tell you, I've met a lot of hardcore evangelical Christians, and I'm not sure spending a lifetime with them would that's more like hell. They're like, come on, man. I'm not putting anyone down. I hate putting people down. I do. I really do. I'm not a put down guy. AI is not smart. It's smarter than me. I shouldn't say that. It's not that. It's it is when there's going to be a point where the compute power, especially what these chip, the new, was it Blackwater? What is it called? Blackwater, right? The new NVIDIA chip. Over its last chip, it was something like 200 times faster. This is one generation of chip up, and you're getting 900 times or 200 times the compute power. And so the next one is going to be So much more significant. It's not fear mongering. You talk to the 2 million people that have lost their jobs, Steele. It's not fear mongering. Tell everyone that's lost their jobs, or the fact that 600,000 people at Amazon. Oh, they'll happily lay off 600,000 people at Amazon. In California, at $20 an hour for fast food, I mean, they're just looking for ways to lay everyone off. Thanks, Gavin. I mean, Gavin Newsom is about as dumb as you get. Like, he really is. That's in every industry. Of course it is. AI will affect almost every industry, some more than others. But the industries that we thought were absolutely untouchable. Coding. Remember coding? Everyone say, oh, you go be a coder, you'll be making $250,000 a year for the rest of your life. Until AI comes along, and then you'd be, now you're picking pop bottles. Because no one wants, I mean, maybe there is every new technology, like the internet, right? And everyone said the internet was going to end jobs, and it created more jobs than it destroyed. But the problem is, it's like robo-taxis. It's just, if you have robo-taxis and all the truckers lose their jobs, all the Uber people lose their jobs, all the delivery people lose their jobs, all these people, all the freight crane operators. Well, I don't know about crane. I don't know. Yeah, you're talking about millions of jobs, just millions. And that's not fear mongering. It's not fear mongering to the people that just, the 2 million people that have lost their job right before Christmas. We need to learn new skills. Yeah, I always say, learn to be a robot repairman. That's what you want to do, a robot repairman, yes. My robot's elbow isn't, it's kind of like going one of these things. And it's like, I can fix that for you. It'd be $2,000, but I can fix it for you. It's like, all right. But I do think there is something, who was it? I forgot someone that mentioned, I just, help me 1487. You look like you spend your time on ChatGPT. Go build a birdhouse. Okay. I'll do that. Oh, I think it was Zach, right? Talking about universal basic income that might come because of ChatGPT or of so much concentrated wealth, and the fact that a huge percentage of the labor is being done by bots, robots. Electricians can be out of a job too. You know what? You need some plumbing done. What shows up? A robot. Once they get dexterity in the fingers, and you get no plumber's butt, right? That's the big thing. You get no plumber's butt when the robot comes over. Is Tucker Carlson in there? Tucker. It's called welfare. It is called welfare. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You know what? Hey, I'm a capitalist. I worked in the stock market. That's my bag, man. You're not going to convince me as communism. I was born in the communist country. I mean, that's if you try and make everyone equal, you get equality of outcomes and you get nothing, right? Because if everyone gets the same amount of money and everyone does, then it's like you work as hard as the lowest common denominator, not the highest. The lowest common, well, that guy's only doing that much, so that's all I'm doing. If that's all, he gets paid the same amount and he's doing that, that's what I'm doing too. It's like being a UPS driver. That's there. I got like the UPS when I was in Los Angeles. I had some UPS driver friends, and man, when there was like a union talk and union strike, and they're talking about how hard they work, and the second the contract is inked, they just sit back and they're like. Oh man, both of my good friends at UPS retired, but during contract talks, man, there's like, they talk about how hard they work, and after that, they're like, I'm not freaking doing that. I'm like, you guys. But anyway, guys, so that is ChatGPT versus Gemini. I got to do a little bit of digging on Grok. I haven't used Grok in a while. I used to use Perplexity a lot. I don't know if anyone AI is doing it and better. These are all scams anyway. Scams. What scam? AI is a scam? Steele? AI is a scam? What's the scam? AI is doing. Yeah, well, if AI, look, humanity has always been the lowest common denominator. They seem to be the weakest link in the business cycle. That is why humanity is being replaced. But also, labor is expensive. I mean, I had an online warehouse, and everything has its place. So if you just have a robot go down down the warehouse and it's just picking things, it's just doing the exact same thing. It's scanning barcodes, double checking, plumbing. Plumbing. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think if AI might easily build a fence, early AI systems, robots might build a fence very easily, right? I mean, it's all, once zoning is approved, maybe you have a master a contractor after it, and they sign off, they check, the posts, make sure everything is drilled a certain depth based on the zoning of that city, yada, yada, yada. Look, everyone's in trouble. I mean, everyone's in trouble. Or I don't know, trouble. The thing is, no one really knows what to do. No one really knows how to. If you have a skill, how do you augment that skill to become a better person within an AI society? Just like the internet, right? We didn't know what was going to happen to society with the internet. I mean, no one really knew. And there was Y2K. Remember Y2K? Everyone was scared of Y2K. Oh, man. I was like, you're going to and everyone was singing Prince 1999 and then Y2K. No one was going to be able to get cash out of the bank machines. And of course, none of it happened. None of it. So I don't know. Who knows? But the layoffs are real. The layoffs are real. So, Steelwater, most work will be elective. I think, yeah. What scares me is always the politicians. Politicians get progressively worse. The system gets progressively worse. 38 trillion in debt. 38 trillion in debt. I mean, there's a lot of problems. I mean, I've always said the Federal Reserve, even when I worked, when I was on Wall Street, as being a market maker, economic analyst, I never believed the numbers. You can't believe the unemployment numbers now because a huge chunk of the economy is the gig economy, right? Contractors aren't counted in that. If you work like 2 hours a week, you're considered to have a job. You could have 2 part-time jobs that gives you 11, 12 hours per week. Oh, you're employed. You're employed. Check that off. Yep, you're employed. The numbers are there to fit an agenda. And the economics of the Federal Reserve, inflation at 2%. I mean, we see by technology. Technology is deflationary. There's no reason. There's no reason that you would need to stew. Hey, Zach. Oh, thanks, Zach. Steel, California is hitting that over the head too. Yep. Oh, California's it's a disaster. California. I forgot what was I saying? Damn it. You're like a squirrel. Don't go out on that branch until you finish what's in the, stay off that branch, Danny. Stay off that branch. Politics. Oh yeah, the Federal Reserve. Inflation is not the natural inclination of an economy. Technology proves deflation as we move forward. Things are deflationary. Deflation is not necessarily a bad thing. Again, proven by the tech sector. Inflation, now you talk about inflating the debt, right? How do you inflate the debt? You heard about that saying. A lot of people don't know what it means. They're going to inflate the debt away. You devalue the dollar. You print so many dollars, you don't have to pay as much back. There's trillions more in circulation. That debt is worth significantly less. They inflate. And that's Argentina, right? That's Argentina. That's Turkey. That is wake up the next day and bread is $8 a loaf. It's like, well, what the hell? How did that happen? Inflate the debt away. They're not going to pay off $38 trillion. Something's going to happen. It ain't going to be good. I don't know. You're right. What's the answer? I don't know. I don't know what the answer. I guess yeah. Don't keep all your money in fiat currency. Have some money in just basic assets, or I don't know about buying gold and silver at these prices. Every time it gets too high and you want to get into something, and you always buy when you're buying at the top. It a few weeks later because you're down 50%. It's hard buying at the highs, very high. I mean, anyway, AI. It's almost like I think every day we gotta have a segment on AI as more and more information comes out. The job numbers are a lie. Yes, they are, TJ. You damn rights they are. When I worked on Wall Street in the late 90s and early 2000s, we all knew, like all of us, we never bought into the numbers. It's like, oh, they're good again. Oh, they're good again. Oh, they're good again. Manufactured reality, right? Manufactured reality. Charlie Kirk. There's a reason why nothing makes sense. This is what I've said. Where is he buried? Does anyone know where he's buried? Where's his burial site? How are you able to cement over a crime scene 48 hours after the crime happens? There's only one way. No crime happened. Candace Owens is the only one that has seen the video from behind. And her exact words were, there's no blood. There's no blood. If you look very close, you see the chair going through the table. Now, anyone who has created AI video, the words on the chest get all distorted, the freedom, the wound gets pixelated and it goes off the neck and you see the pixelation. No one from the left side. There's no witnesses. No witnesses. And why is no one generally upset? I think he's like wherever Epstein is. He's like, the only reason, the way you can cement that over is it was not a crime scene. Why was he taken to the far hospital? And then there's a coroner's report, but it's not an autopsy. That's a different thing. That's you can see the autopsy of Kobe Bryant. Careful, there was a crime and you all are the victim. Well, that's true. I probably should shut up about this stuff, right? I am not suicidal, by the way. I'm not suicidal, okay? Just to let everyone know. Why is no one upset? Like no one had any genuine tears, right? Nobody. Where's his parents? Where's his sister? Where's his resting place? He didn't have a funeral. He had a memorial. Looked like a Kiss concert with the sparks. I want to rock and roll. Oh, that's what I thought. You want the best. You got the best. Thought Gene Simmons was going to come out. Manufactured reality. 9/11, 9/11, 9/11, 11, 9, 1, 1, 11, 9. If anyone, 79 cameras on the Pentagon, you can't show us one video. You can't show us one video of the plane actually hitting. Just one. Tucker did a really good thing on 9/11. The videos he just did recently. Manufactured reality. The shooter, Donald Trump shooter. What's his name? If I'm the president and someone tried to shoot me, and I got into office, you're damn straight I'd be like ransacking. He doesn't seem too concerned. Trumpy. He doesn't seem too concerned about the shooter. Is it manufactured? Is it real? Like, I don't know. Like, you don't know what to believe. Now with AI is going to make the manufacturing, feels like WWE. No, you can't. They lost that court case, WWF. But now with AI, which I think anyone that knows anything with, we know it's not a 30-06. Come on, we wouldn't be a head left. And then when they're carrying him to he was wearing angel white runners. Angel white runners. There's no blood dripping. There's no one had blood on them anywhere. No one. When the blood was flowing down, it didn't soak into this nice white T-shirt. Nothing. It's manufactured reality. I don't know. It doesn't matter what I say. Like, I'm gonna change the world. Yeah. These are, I don't know. You know what? We are small peas in the pod. We are little wieners. All of us. Every man and woman. My pronouns, by the way, are it and that. Those are my pronouns, guys. It. I am an it. It and that. Those are my pronouns. I've chosen my pronouns. I'm going to play the game. Pronouns. Kind of feel proud. That cell phone video was quite convincing, right? Get your discernment up. AI is going to allow the government to make manufactured reality easy. Easy. Because the media, when something comes out from the government, the media takes it. And that's the story. They just verbatim, right? It's like on 9/11 when the guy finds the passport from a plane that hit 1,000 feet up there, and someone, hey, I found a passport. What? The passport survived? Those Saudi passports are fire retardant. Or fire retards? Fire retardant? I think he was offered because he was a threat to the new. Yeah, of course he was. He started questioning. You get to that level. Charlie Kirk had power because he could sway opinion very easily. It's also the power of religion too, right? Because the flock will believe the rooster. That's basically why blind faith, blind faith does not no questions. You don't question. You just blind faith it. You believe it, and so everything top down is believed. And hey, if someone chooses to be religious, I will. That's their choice. I'm not going to convince anyone otherwise if they choose religion. But when he started to question certain things, yeah, he was. There's a lot of funny things that go on, but with AI, as it gets better, you will not to be able to. Stuff will come out. Everyone's going to believe it because it looks real. The government. It's not illegal if the government does it. Just if we do it, but if the government does it, it's okay. I don't know. It's a whole new world. It's a whole new paradigm. And being chipped. I talked about this yesterday. We'll all be chipped. We will all be Borg one day. We will all have, when inorganic electrical signals communicate seamlessly with organic, meaning the brain electricity, and then we will have various versions of brain chips in our brains. It will happen, and you'll have to go there. Do you think humans are like ants or bees? Some people are predisposed to fit roles grown. I think there's ants and there's bees. There's becoming fewer bees and there's becoming more and more ants. I mean, that's a great question, Zach. I hear you, Steele. You always talk about not being. I'm not getting chipped. But you won't have access to bank accounts. You won't have access to general services. They just won't even give you access to society. And the idea of being chipped from the AI perspective, meaning there's one scientist, and again, I forgot his name. He said, and I agree with him, lower forms of intelligence do not control higher forms of intelligence. Superintelligence AI. When superintelligence AI gets to that point, dumb humans will not control the super AI. The only way to effectively ensure our continuance is to merge with it. To merge with the AI. How do you get the most benefit from superintelligence? Merge with it. Put it in, or maybe it's behind the ear. And people will ask, maybe 50 years, 100 years from now, maybe 20 years from now, what version? Hey, I got the latest chip implant. I can hear things at 500 feet now. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go along. The only way that we can compete with AI is to merge with it. I did a video, will AI turn us into Borg, a few months back, and people laughed. I mean, I thought it feels a little far-fetched. No, actually, it was about a year ago, I think I did it. But it's not far-fetched at all. It's real. The only way we're going to control it is to harness it. And maybe that's the natural progression of, I don't know. All of the images that we see, all the telescopes, the thousands of telescopes looking out there. We're taking pictures of black holes. We're taking pictures of stars. We're taking pictures of we see no evidence, no residue that an intelligent species was there or doing something. We find small anomalies like that one. There's no way, and no one's building a Dyson sphere. Even Freeman Dyson himself was embarrassed by that concept. That wasn't his concept. The Kardashev scale is a 1964 Soviet Union creation. And the Soviets weren't that bright. Everything in the Soviet Union is bigger. It's bigger, comrades. So we bigger, and the bigger it is the better. Remember the Tsar bomb, the biggest nuclear bomb ever? For the Soviets, the bigger was better. What we're realizing is everything is going nano. So when we can break up atoms and get that energy, and we only need a fraction of the energy when we break up atoms, right? It's the same with fusion. Fusion still only results in a fractional energy release when you fuse two hydrogen into a helium. Nothing is going bigger. This is why the 3i Atlas thing is just freaking retarded. It's retarded. Avi, you're an idiot. You sound like a retard, Avi Loeb. You think an advanced alien civilization is going to send a 20-mile spaceship? No, they'll send little tiny nanobots that take a fraction of the energy. A fraction of the energy. They got little, video cameras on their horns or something like that. They send a mothership? No, we're not going to land and we're going to just fly around. We're going to spend 1/3 of our sun's energy output to fly to this solar system. Avi Loeb, you're an idiot. You're stupid. I have no problem. He's a fraud. Avi Loeb is a freaking fraud. Then he throws Brian Cox and Neil deGrasse Tyson under the bus because they don't agree with him. Throws them under the bus. That the only thing they're concerned of is their own reputation and popularity. I mean, they're not doing shit for clickbait. I got a problem with Avi Loeb. I got a problem. Guys, the Kessler effect. The Kessler effect. He's a paid actor. Fuck yeah, he's actually not a bad actor, Avi Loeb. Hey, Steele? Oh, I do not like Avi Loeb. I think it is reckless. The last thing you want is the average normie at home thinking that literally there's aliens to come. Hey, that's the kind of stuff the government loves, right? Keep everyone in crisis. Keep everyone scared. Keep everyone in a state of numbness. The aliens are coming. I've seen Independence Day, and I don't think Will Smith's going to save us. Okay, video file. So the Kessler effect. If you guys, I thought I had it set up. What is it? Oh, I gotta go. Okay, lucky I'm organized. Lucky I'm organized. I gotta find. Oh, okay. Wait a sec. Video. Okay, yeah, video channel. So I gotta go to. Where is it? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not organized. There it is. 4th, December 4th. Show files. Kessler.
The Kessler effect.
Okay, so the Kessler effect. So this is a video that I did. I'm going to upgrade this video. I did this video about. It has like almost 70% watch time. So it's one of my highest videos that has like the highest watch time, and a very high CTR, especially off of search. It's like a 12% click through rate. But so the Kessler effect, of course, if you've seen the movie Gravity. That movie was such an amazing movie. The way they did all the pieces coming, and Sandra Bullock had to go to the Chinese space station, and that was wiped out. I mean, the special effects were awesome. But this is a matter of fact, right? The Kessler effect grows more and more possible by the day.
The world is oblivious to the global catastrophe that lingers above them in space. It may sound alarmist or overly dramatic, but the end of our civilization that lurks above us is something that very few people around the globe pay any attention to. It's the Kessler effect, and it's a real-life scenario that can end everything as we know it. An event that has the potential to send
Is the volume okay? It's not too loud?
Humanity back an entire century for decades, even centuries to come. What is the Kessler effect?
Thanks, Steele.
It's a situation where a chain reaction of collisions between space debris creates an impassable cloud around Earth. This scenario was first proposed by Don Kessler in 1978, predicting that satellite collisions would start happening in Earth's orbit by the year 2000. The first satellite collision occurred in 1996, and some experts believe that we are already at critical mass in the low Earth orbit. When two pieces of space debris collide, they break into many smaller fragments. They in turn collide with other objects, creating even more debris that is traveling at 18,000 miles per hour.
18,000 miles per hour. Now there's some big pieces up there. At 18,000 miles per hour, that stuff is hitting, like some big pieces will hit like a nuclear bomb. And of course, when they hit, they create more smaller pieces, thousands of more pieces. And that's why the movie Gravity was, I thought it was, it was a good movie. It got a lot of attention. I kind of felt it should have got more attention by the powers that be.
This cycle would quickly escalate,
And it didn't.
making Earth's orbit a dense, impassable cloud of space junk, threatening every country and every civilization on Earth for centuries to come. The Kessler effect is essentially a feedback loop of destruction. The more objects launched into space, the higher the risk of collision. The more collisions, the more debris is created, increasing the chance of further collisions. If left unchecked, it will make entire regions of space unusable, stalling technological progress. The movie Gravity from 2013 is the best visual example of how the Kessler effect would destroy anything in its path, and could do so even if all of the fragments were small. The one thing...
Well, the smaller, the worse it is, right? You get all these big pieces turning into little 1 pound pieces or half a pound pieces. A tenth of a pound piece hitting the space station. I mean, that could be a critical, that could be loss of life. It's 20,000 miles per hour. You do the math on that. It's a lot of...
thing that would be different is the fragments would be coming at you at a speed of 18,000 miles per hour, so you wouldn't see them at that speed. The destruction would appear instantaneous to an observer, and there probably wouldn't be any survivors.
If you guys have not seen the movie Gravity, like you've got a treat. The special effects, even when they get into the sort of the psychological issues that Sandra Bullock's character had, and I'm a screenwriter. If you Google Danny Alex screenwriter, you'll see I've won hundreds of screenwriting awards. So screenwriting in movies is kind of in my wheelhouse, science fiction and whatnot. But if you haven't seen Gravity, It is a well-written story, well-written screenplay. The special effects are phenomenal. The tension is real. The way they create the stakes and the tension. If you haven't seen it, you got yourself a treat. Watch Gravity.
There are over 100 million pieces of space junk orbiting Earth. They range from small paint flecks and metal scraps to defunct satellites and spent rocket stages. According to the European Space Agency, there are almost 40,000 pieces of debris larger than 10 centimeters being tracked by ground-based radar. A countless number of smaller fragments are moving through space at speeds that give even the tiniest of pieces the power to destroy large satellites. Even a small paint chip traveling at 18,000 miles per hour could punch a hole through a satellite or spacecraft, while larger debris, such as defunct satellites, pose more serious threats. In 2009, a retired Russian satellite collided with an active US satellite, creating over 2,000 pieces of trackable debris. Imagine if this happens multiple times.
One collision, 2,000 pieces. And I don't think the Russians are as careful. Even if they're not as careful, their tech doesn't work. I mean, you saw their robot, right? He's no bueno, senor. He's no bueno.
It's a problem that can easily spiral out of control as more and more objects are launched into space. Massive projects like SpaceX's Starlink and Amazon's Kuiper have already sent tens of thousands of small satellites into orbit. This alone can cause the problem to grow exponentially. These projects will dramatically increase the number of objects in orbit, bringing the Kessler effect closer to reality. If the Kessler effect were to occur, it would make space unusable, leading to the collapse of the entire satellite infrastructure.
And you think about what happens if we lose satellites. We lose all GPS. We lose, we would probably still have, computers, but we wouldn't be, our ambitions leaving our atmosphere are basically toast. You can't launch a rocket because we have so much debris up there. It becomes way too dangerous launching a rocket. I think what they have to do, they have to find ways to clean the junk. I mean, you guys made the trash. Are they trying to develop ways to clean up the trash? I'm going to research that.
This would result in the loss of global communications, make huge parts of the internet unusable, impact cell phone service, and anything that relies on the network of satellites to work, which is almost everything in today's world. Accurate forecasting of the weather and climate would be impacted, as the majority of information used for climate monitoring is provided by satellites. The financial industry, stock exchanges, international trade and banking systems rely heavily on the global satellite system. They would all be greatly impacted, or could possibly no longer function, given their complete reliance on the network of communications satellites. The loss of GPS alone would cause chaos in global transportation, agriculture, and other industries that rely on precise positioning systems.
It would be a disaster. And unfortunately, Steele, I don't know if Gravity is on Tubi. I don't think so. I think it's Paramount. The Paramount or Universal? Who did? I'm not sure who did Gravity. You'd have to check in your area who might be carrying Gravity where you stream it. Send the human truck drivers. You might have to. But imagine all the things that if the chain reaction hits, and this is not science fiction. This is science fact. That's the scary thing. It's not like we're dealing with a maybe. Eventually you get critical mass, and that critical mass results in the Kessler effect, or the Kessler syndrome, a lot of people call it as well.
There could be massive global social unrest as the economy grinds to a halt and unemployment hits 30 or 40%. The impact on our civilization would be devastating. And we are only describing the immediate impacts on what a runaway Kessler effect would do to humanity and the systems that rely on satellite communication. Space exploration would be the biggest casualty, putting future missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond on indefinite hold. The International Space Station and its inhabitants would be in severe danger, as even a 1-inch piece of debris traveling at 18,000 miles per hour could destroy critical systems and cause lethal damage to the astronauts. But the Kessler effect is not inevitable, and it will require international cooperation, new laws and technologies to avoid it. The first step is to slow the rate at which new debris is being created. All satellites and rockets must be designed so that they will deorbit themselves after their task is done. All space missions must have safe disposal plans in place before any launch is allowed.
The problem is how do you make the world compliant if you have, if you have certain policies to try and keep space? I mean, to me, China is a country that says, okay, well, if you go clean space for us, we're, I don't trust China. And I have a lot of Chinese friends. I've done a lot of business with China, importing over the years. Good people, good friends, a lot of good friends in China. And I don't trust Putin. My policy is I never trust anyone whose first syllable is poo. Never trust a Putin. It's just good advice.
Stricter regulations and adherence to even tighter standards are crucial if we are to save the orbital space above us. Technologies such as robotic arms, harpoons, nets, and even lasers are being developed to capture and remove space junk. Although these methods are still in their early stages, they offer a promising solution to the growing problem of space debris. The Kessler effect is not science fiction. It's a real and growing danger that at the very least may limit humanity's future in space. As the number of satellites and other objects in orbit continues to rise, so does the risk of a catastrophic chain reaction of collisions. Without swift action to manage space debris, we face a future where space exploration and even basic satellite services become too dangerous. Everyone can play a part to help prevent this possible catastrophe, even if it's just being a part of the loud chorus of voices who are demanding immediate preventative action so that we can save the space above us for future generations.
And that's really all we can do, right? I mean, I mean, not to burst anyone's bubble, but in the United States, it's basically a two-party dictatorship, right? Every time they say, Trump's authoritarian, the political system is authoritative. The whole system is a two-party dictatorship. The fact that they don't even allow a third party, that's the grip of power. It is so hard to start a third party. The only person that could have done it was Elon Musk when he started talking about it. Boy, but he was shut down pretty fast, right? Good luck trying to sell them cars here in America. America, do you think twice about that, Mr. Elon Musk? I don't know.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and leave better informed about humanity and space, and we will see you next time.
Who is that
in
good-looking
a godless
guy in that
universe.
blue shirt? I know that guy. All right, so there you go, right? So that is the Kessler effect, my friends. That is, a lot of people don't know about it. It's real. Watch Gravity.
We are going to the moon, and we are going there.
Watch Gravity. If you haven't seen Gravity, you got yourself like one of those movies that you got yourself a little treat. It's a great movie. Sandra Bullock does an amazing job. So does George Clooney, actually. I don't mind George Clooney. You know, I bought an espresso. Have you guys ever tried Nespresso? Yeah. Coffee. I used to drink 1 cup of coffee a day. My friend gave me his Nespresso. He gave it to me. Great guy, right? Him and his wife. Actually, I spent 4 months when I moved back from, I moved away from LA. I lived in LA for 20 years, almost 20 years. I spent 4 months living with them when I got back. And but then Nespresso, now I drink 3 cups of coffee. It was always 1 cup of coffee every morning. Now I drink 3 because it's Nespresso. Excuse me. It is that good. It is that good. But it's a good movie. So I do movie reviews on my other channel. Actually, we're doing Underworld Awakening, but a 10, 15-minute review. Because I'm doing the Underworld series. It's Underworld. It's not underwear. I think of Kate Beckinsale. My head goes right into the gutter, right? Underworld. Kate Beckinsale. Kate looks good in shiny black leather. She looks really good. Oh, there she is. So, do I want to say anything else? On Monday, we're going to be doing a lot more on the whole AI thing. And basically, a godless universe. I'm starting to get a lot of people coming in. They ask about a godless universe, and obviously, there's nothing religious here. It's just basically looking at the world, the universe, history, philosophy through the lens of a rational eye. We don't take anything, miracles or prayers or wishes or all that kind of stuff. A godless universe just means that we are sterile in our idea of being of supernatural. I don't believe aliens are visiting us. That's something else. Another one. I'm going to touch base on that next week. I think it's almost every day you got to do something AI, and once a week you have to do aliens, right? You got to do aliens. I know people. I'm like one of my best friends. He believes in aliens. They're like, dude, come on, man. Like, oh, thank you, Steele. They're here. You're not an alien denier. I deny the aliens. I'm not. And what it does, we always have to engage in meaningful conversation, right? We can disagree, and in that disagreement that we can have an entertaining and meaningful conversation, hopefully entertaining, right? When you hear other people's views and stuff, it's like people see the same movie and one hates it and one loves it. It's like, what? Now, I analyze it from a perspective of being a screenwriter, production, editing, directing, lighting, sets, having... have a wealth of experience from that perspective. So there are some technical things. It's like Underworld Awakening was the fourth movie. Is bad. That's when Celine is fighting the cops and the police. It was such a poorly written script. The first three were all pretty good. If you like werewolves and you like vampires, right? That's sort of in that science fiction, sci-fi, fantasy wheelhouse. That's that's why I'm covering it. You got to have some entertainment, right? You got to, I should do a review of Gravity next week as well. You know what, Matt? Well, I'm going to do that. I should do that. Gravity review. Gravity from the perspective of a screenwriter. But there's not many really good werewolf or lichen and vampire shows anymore. The first one in 2003 was fantastic. It was great. The second one was also good. The third one, which did not have Kate Beckinsale, but it had all of the lore dealing with, what's his name? Michael Sheen, who plays Lucian. Great actor. Bill Nighy, the guy that plays Victor. Great actor. I mean, the casting... Excuse me as I itch my eye. The casting on the first three movies was impeccable. I thought the casting was brilliant. The gal that played the daughter of Victor, she was really good. Really good. Who's that big guy? The big dude. The big werewolf. He's got that low voice. He's got that seriously low voice. And he played the part of a werewolf, Lycan. I know they like to be called Lycan. Oh yeah, Robbie Gee was in the first one. Robbie Gee's fantastic actor. Kevin Gravois. Reyes is his character name. Bill Nighy, he's such a good freaking vampire. Just he was also in one of my favorite movies. Oh, shoot, what is it? Boy, he's in a lot of movies. Holy jeez, this dude is freaking busy. It was filmed in the 2000s, the zombie one, the funny one. Shaun of the Dead, that's what it was. Shaun of the Dead. If you haven't seen Shaun of the Dead, oh my god, you guys have got another treat. If you want to, even Zombieland, I mean, the very first Zombieland. There's another one that you can, go to, and that is, why am I not in Hollywood anymore? Holy, people in Hollywood are going bust, my friend. They're going bust. AI is a big part of it. Absolutely, it is. Darn rights. Yeah. So people ask me about screenwriting and AI. If you look, you screenwrite because you freaking enjoy it. Like, you don't go, let's see, I love wakeboarding. I don't try and put someone else in the wakeboard and have someone else ride my, it's about doing the ride, right? So a true screenwriter, you love creating the story. You love going to a dead end, but that dead end creates new ideas for writing. A true writer, creative, is not going to use AI. It's going to be a lazy person who is trying to fast track their way. And I don't think AI can create the depth. Like Superman felt AI, right? Superman, James Gunn's Superman felt blocky AI. That was not good. Do you find there is truth in all movies? No, I don't. Well, I mean, I guess, I mean, there's some truth in all movies. I guess it's every movie has. Yeah, there's just so, like James Cameron and the next Avatar. Avatar is something that if you gave it to any director, make this for me, they'd be like, how in the hell am I going to make this? What do I get? $750 million budget? What do I get? It's just what James Cameron does is off the charts. And I absolutely disagree with people when they say it's CGI. It's all no. It's actors. People are acting it. You can't make suits 12 foot tall, skinny suits. And how do you propose they do it then? If they can't use CGI, then you just can't make the movie. What's the point of not making the movie? Like, it's just stupid reasoning. I won't mention any names, but there are some film critics. Look, the people on YouTube that call themselves critics. I'm not an actor. No, I've done acting. I have done acting. I don't consider myself an actor. No. I guess we are all actors on this world, aren't we? In a kind of a little way. We're all actors. I have done acting. I don't consider myself an actor. More than definitely. Like, I was a musician. I played on stage. I played guitar. I sang keyboards. But I think the thing about Hollywood is science fiction was such a propellant for science fact. Whether it was starting in Dune in 1964, it went to Star Trek, it went to 2001: A Space Odyssey, it went to Space 1999 in 1975, Star Wars. We had Carl Sagan Cosmos in 1980. We had the moon landings. We had the space shuttle come out. We had all this stuff that propelled space and the interest in space. We don't got that now. When you put messaging into a movie that has nothing to do with the story, you ruin the story. A story only has so much space. And when you have to cram it full of other stuff, it's ruined. It's ruined. The worst thing that happened in movies in Hollywood is when political. Activist, I guess. Activist. But the thing is, everything is in flux. AI is changing everything. If people didn't go into, if Disney didn't go streaming, HBO was always a streamer, and HBO has always been one of the best streaming services, right? Always. If you're gonna have one, it's gonna be HBO, I think. Everyone, so Paramount, everyone's got their own stream. Now we're in this hybrid spot of where does the creative elements associated with creating stories and creating movies? At one point in time, Hollywood, no one did stories better than Hollywood. That's why the world took Hollywood movies and loved them. Hollywood was so good at story. And then something right around 2000, the activists get involved, everything, all of a sudden it becomes something that it's not about the story anymore. It's about a message. And if people like the message, keep the message. But so now we're in this in between. I think Doomsday is going to be a financial disaster. They're going to find that they don't want to see old man Iron Man, old man Doomsday. Nothing against Robert Downey Jr., but you're just going to member berries, right? That's all you're doing. You're going to member berries. It's going to be a financial disaster. And then after that, after your Ironheart failed, after your Eternals failed, after Ant-Man and all that Thor: Love and Thunder. Oh, jeez, what are you guys thinking? Taika Waititi was it's not good. But I mean, there's always a passing of the torch. There is. It's in flux. It was going to happen. It just so happened that Hollywood thought that they were indestructible after that whole maybe Endgame, and then 2019 was such a good year for movies. Disney needs to. Disney's market is primarily princesses, right? So they're taking everything. Amazingly so. I mean, it's better for them just to sell off the properties, get the cash, and because they can't use any of the intellectual property. No one cares about the stuff anymore. And superheroes might have had their day. It might have had their day. Everything has their day, right? Everything does. That's just what it is. Guys like you will be fine. Thanks, Steele. I don't share your optimism. Everything is chopping wood nowadays. Everything is like, everything is hard nowadays. Sometimes you think you want to go back to like 1985, right? We had a pager, a car. I don't know. So, but Underworld. So I'm going to play, and this is what I've been doing with the Underworld, is I play the trailer and I stop it so I don't get copyrighted. But so there were so many things wrong. So I don't know if any of you guys like the Underworld series. This is not a movie you really need to see. This is a movie that is so sloppy. It is. I printed off my notes, but it didn't print off. It is so sloppy. They don't establish one of the most important ingredients when you establish the first few scenes in a movie, the antagonist and the protagonist. They need to have a relationship, and it needs to be a bad one or a good one in the sense of having a good bad one. I always bring up an easy one is Tombstone, right? We are shown the antagonists, how bad they are. These are not good guys. And then we're showed the quality of Wyatt Earp. Terminator. We're shown why you should fear the Terminator. Because the first scene is the Terminator. It creates the stakes. It creates the tension. In Underworld, they needed to get rid of Michael. So they did so, and it just, I guess maybe the actor didn't come on board, so they just had him sloppily killed. It's like, really? He was so important in a couple of movies, and he's just like... the whole thing of the Selene versus the humans didn't work. Oh, I could press play. Use the format I've been doing. A big thing about this movie was it was an over-reliance on superpowers. So this movie, they took the superpowers and boy, they just used it to a point where it was just too much. In the first two movies, it's kind of like the first Star Wars movies where they use the Force sparingly. Now they use the Force to move spaceships around and stuff. It's just like, okay, well, sure, all right. This was kind of the same thing. It was a disjointed, blocky movie that didn't flow from one to the next with characters you didn't care about. It was like from the plot. The plot carries the story. You want character decisions to move the plot. We're introduced one of the main antagonists halfway through, the big 12-foot tall. Okay, he didn't have to be 12 foot tall. Make him like 7.5 feet tall. It was an overabundance and over too much of everything and no story. Convenience. Did I take the wrong trailer? But that's it? Really? Oh, you're gonna get booed. Okay. I thought I took that. No, I am really freaking fucking up, ain't I? I mean, that's what. You know what? That's what makes live fun. Yeah, I'm not gonna applaud myself. I'm gonna laugh at myself. You dumbass. Danny the dumbass. On Monday, I'll put Danny the dumbass. Someone's laughing hard. Yeah. That's enough. All right. So basically, the entire movie. But I could do the same thing. I mean, I can pull it up. Oh, I can pull it up. YouTube. Underworld Awakening. And basically, I mean, it is such, oh, no, Jesus, is that the one? I thought that was the one I downloaded. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Okay. You know what? I bet you that also got screwed up. My whole Windows thing screwed up. My whole computer freeze. I got like 96 gig RAM. I mean, I beefed up my computer, so none of this stuff should be happening. It really is quite ridiculous. Is that the one? Oh, no. There we go. Remove from stage, add to stage. Thank you. Let's take away that. And let us watch the trailer one more time, and I will make more comments over. So again, this is Underworld Awakening. In theaters, January 20th.
It's not a human being.
2012.
It's up like
the one thing about movie releases in January, they usually put the stuff that they're not overly big on in January. Let's just get it into January and put the stuff that's kind of we're not looking January release.
Nature.
I was held captive for 12 years.
Subject to escape. It's somewhere in the building.
Now, humans hunt the lichens and vampires.
One thing that was really in the first three movies, the lighting, the sets, the tone, the world building was awesome. In this fourth one of Underworld Awakening, the lighting and the sets are terrible. They are terrible. There's a scene that, oh my God. So you would think that the reveal where Celine and her, finds out that that's her daughter, that you would have some huge memorable, they do it in the back of a van. I mean, they did it in the back of a van. It was about as memorable as cutting your toenails. It was so bad. Like, you guys could have exploited this. but everything was with a whimper. There's no setup, no establishment of character motivations that made you want a payoff. The main antagonist dies, and you're like, "Oh, what? Oh, he died. Oh, okay. What happens next?" You did like it was. There was no character no development of the antagonist, protagonist. The antagonists that were there were so weak. There was no development of a real. You want to escalate the tension between the protagonist and the antagonist. There's none of that. Everything is Lego block, and using superpowers. There's times Celine used that fast superpower, like, go at light speed. There is times that she could have used that to get out of a predicament. Why don't you just, if you're using it, they're using it quite selectively. And then you start, these things happen, you don't buy into the story that's being told, because the logic isn't consistent from scene to scene in how the character deals with adversaries and situations where that requires thinking or brute force to get out of it.
This is a new war.
I used to hear stories of the Death Eaters, but they were a thing of the past, never to return.
I don't recognize this world.
Kate looked good. What they tried to do as well, I noticed, it felt like they tried to create some sort of a feeling of the Matrix. When she walks into the building, I think she's walking to the building with a bag of guns, and she's being shot from behind. Bullets are hitting her, and she's not moving or affecting. It's like, okay, well, what's going to hurt you? And the endless bullets that are shot, it's one of my biggest issues with the Underworld movies. You shoot endless bullets, and there's like 75 bullets in each clip. Endless bullets, right? What's the most frustrating thing about Underworld? And 1 out of 100 bullets actually hits its mark. It's like, what are you using guns if you can't hit your mark?
We've lived safely for years, and now you've brought humans into this colony.
We stand and we fight.
Such cliche dialogue. We stand and we fight. No, we won't. I won't stand for it. Oh, we will fight. No, we won't. It's like, oh, what the fuck am I listening to?
Something else escaped.
It was a lot more Hollywood. And the thing that didn't make sense, and I made the note of it, the humans were attacking and killing. Like the first 10 minutes is basically humans just wiping out vampires and lichens. I mean, wiping them out by the dozens. Indiscriminately just killing them with no morality, just boom, 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 right in the head with their, the light bullets. And then somehow the lichens are in charge. Your enemy, or what was that saying? Your enemy is my friends, something like that. The story was such a mishmash. It was not well thought out.
Just more powerful than any of us.
Where's Michael?
The best part of this movie was definitely Kate Beckinsale. Definitely. The story, yeah. So the story was bad. I do not recommend. This was like it was a 6.3 or something like that. It was too high. This movie to me was like a 5.5. It was very bad. But the first 3 Underworld movies are a watch. If you like vampires, if you like lichens, werewolves, the first 3 movies of the Underworld series are a watch. The 4th one you could skip and you won't miss anything, unless you want to watch a movie that's going to put you to sleep. And yeah, that's we got some more comments here. You're losing them, Danny. Oh, that was a 644. That was me. Oh yeah, that's I was you should be on VM. Yeah, well. My wife loves this series. It's a great series. If you like vampires and like it, I love the first 3 movies. I haven't watched it for a while, and I thought just out of whim, you know what? This first week in December is Underworld week. I guess the next movie, so I don't know if you guys, Bob Eggers, he did Nosferatu. I don't know if you've seen Bob Eggers. He also did Northman. Nosferatu was garbage. Garbage. I have Sony is infamous for underwhelming. Yeah, Spider-Man, some of their Spider-Man stuff. Hey, Angry Chair. Hi. I lost my thought again. Holy jeez. What? Oh my God. Sometimes I think that am I getting old and losing my faculty? Am I losing my faculties? But if you're gonna watch the Underworld, the first 3 movies for sure. That's why Bob Eggers. I get there eventually. I literally get there eventually. I mean, can someone just? Thank you. You're too kind. You know, studio audience is feeling dumb today. I really am. I think I am the dumbest man in the room, even though I am here alone. Nosferatu. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Steele. Nosferatu was a terrible movie. It made a tiny amount of money. I would argue if you factor everything in, it probably broke even. You are talking about a character, Nosferatu. Everyone knows Nosferatu. I mean, that was the original movie from the black and white one, right? Remember the original? Everyone knows it's Dracula. Everyone knows it's the vampire. It has a built-in base. The name alone says, it's going to get asses in seats. It's like Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four by default should have a $400 million base. It only did 512 or 22 million, which shows how bad the movie was. Nosferatu was terrible. Now he's doing Werewolf, Bob Eggers. The Northman was a disaster. I love Vikings. The TV series with Travis Fimmel, Vikings. Have you seen that one? If you guys haven't seen Vikings with Travis Fimmel, you got another treat on your head. Travis Fimmel was amazing in that movie. All of the actors, the story was authentically Viking. Very well done. Very well done. Even when Travis Fimmel died with his sons, that first season 5, when what's his name came out and he was dying and they put him on the horse, it was so emotional. And his 2 brothers were on the other side. And it's like, see, you can't kill him. You can't kill him, which inspired all his troops. And then they won. It was solidly emotional, powerful. But Nosferatu was like, fuck, what the fuck am I watching? What am I watching? Don't get too artsy fartsy on me. Just tell a good story. Now he's doing the werewolf, and that's the point. He's now doing the werewolf. These are public domain properties. Anyone can do it, right? We'll see. Bob Eggers, you got a lot to prove because The Northman was bad story. It was a really bad ending. There's so many things to that. And Nosferatu was pretty, oh my God. I mean, Bill Skarsgård was about as scary as Mickey Mouse with sharp teeth. They're like, really? That's your version of Nosferatu? I mean, I could have thought of something a little scarier. It was also the problem I had with Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro. That was a pretty attractive Frankenstein. And basically the second half of Frankenstein was The Shape of Water. It was a good movie. Guillermo del Toro does good movies. It's copy paste Shape of Water. If you guys watch Shape of Water, watch Frankenstein. He's indestructible. Guillermo, come on, dude. And then when it hit the wedding in Frankenstein, it became blocky Lego blocks. Like, why is Frankenstein scared of Victor Frankenstein? It's like, why? Why is he even scared? Why is he running away? Why is he being chased to the ends of the earth? Frankenstein knows he's invincible. But I digress. What are you working on? What am I working on? I don't know what I'm working on, Steele. What am I? Oh, is it like I am not writing right now. I have two amazing ideas that I have. I actually have about 6 screenplays that are in various degrees of finishing, but I have this new horror one, which is I can't say anything because if I say it, it has it's not at the Library of Congress or anything like that, so the ideas aren't protected. So you can't give, especially story ideas, because those things are stolen so fast. So one of my stories is called The Sicken. The Sicken. I've won the screenplay film festivals around the world. Some of the biggest ones where like 2,000 screenplays are in the competition that The Sicken has won. It's a great. It's an entire world, but I think That's the one thing about YouTube. It takes so much time up. I would love to get into a situation where I do, but screenwriting requires closing the door, locking the door, and I love, like, I'm a be by myself guy, don't want a girlfriend, don't need a girlfriend, don't have any kids. I'm totally okay with that. So that is, but that's, there's some, next week. Yeah. We'll jump into some, you too, Steele. Yeah. Are you a writer, Steele? Me neither. Are you a writer? Is or a creative? Do you do some sort of creative stuff? Next week we're going to be doing, obviously we're going to do some AI stuff. I'm going to have a show. One show is going to be, we're going to jump into aliens. We're going to have some discussions about aliens. And I got Gravity written down to do, and maybe, so we got Gravity and then a couple of other, I think sci-fi. We'll do some sci-fi, stick to some serious sci-fi next week and whatnot. So we will keep the, but I have you have a whole family. I envy you in that regard too. I do. I don't. All my family is in Europe because we were refugees. We became refugees in Vancouver in 1968. I was like 9 months old, so I had literally no family. So that's why I'm doing a live stream on Christmas Day for 8 hours. So if you guys are doing anything on Christmas Day, I will be live for 8 hours. Christmas Eve for 4 hours. I'll probably have generous amounts of wine, so that's my prerogative. My prerogative. So, and I think, guys, I think that's the show. AI. We're going to do a lot of AI, where it's going to be a great week next week. I hope all of you guys have a super awesome weekend and a Friday, and stay safe wherever you are. All my best to everybody, and I will see you on Monday.
Okay, children, let's take our seats.
Yeah, baby. Do it live. Fuck it.